Living in Kathmandu, everyone expects that there's a big quake on the way. And for 4.5 years, my family lived there, and every day we woke up expecting or thinking about the earthquake that everyone was predicting. 9 months after we left, that big earthquake happened. It wasn't as big as people expected, but it was still very, very damaging. I heard about the first earthquake within about 15 minutes. We still got a lot of contact with our friends back in Kathmandu. We got a text message that an earthquake had happened, and I immediately rang my friends in ADRA Nepal. And the fact that I actually got through to them made me realise that it wasn't as bad in Kathmandu as we were expecting with the numbers that was reported. A week later, I arrived and in support of ADRA Nepal. If a major disaster had to happen at the perfect time to have the minimum amount of people, the earthquake in Nepal happened at that time, lunchtime on a Saturday. It's the only day of the week that people don't go to work and school. It was a beautiful day, and people would have been out under the trees, talking to their friends, their family, outside most of the time. And when the earthquake happened, 1 million homes destroyed and only 14,000 people killed. And so many people were outside of their buildings that it was really fortunate that that many people weren't injured. And the second big earthquake was the biggest earthquake that I'd been in, 7.2. It was pretty scary. I was one of the first out of the building. I'm not afraid to say that I was running fairly quickly. The ground was rumbling, the dogs and the birds and people were screaming, and the trees were swaying when there was no wind, and pipes on the side of the building were flapping backwards and forwards. It was a pretty scary time. An earthquake like this in Nepal affects people's lives in so many different ways. The houses are destroyed, the animals are killed, the schools are destroyed, access to healthcare is affected with the health facilities destroyed. Their water supply is affected with the pipes pulled and stretched and broken. And then there's access to roads, so people have to walk to get food and medicine. The main thing that ADRA supported was shelter. So many houses and so many buildings came down that people needed tarpaulins and rope to actually get some shelter from the rain that was happening at the time. The houses that were not made with concrete beams and pillars basically all fell down, every single one of them. The ones that had some concrete in them, in the beam and pillar, they stayed up to a certain extent. But every house that was just made with bricks like this fell down. Sometimes 100% of the buildings in every district fell down. As well as meeting people's immediate relief needs, ADRA is helping people rebuild their lives, rebuild their farms so they can have food and an income, and rebuild their houses with corrugated iron.